There's kind of a basic principle in life that beauty attracts. When you see something beautiful, someone beautiful, a beautiful building, you just want to look at it and be in it. It's a basic principle for all of us. Beauty attracts. Living here on this campus, we are blessed very often to have beautiful Payne County sunsets coming out, just looking a little west. And it's just a beautiful sight to step out of your front door, to step out of the church and see this beautiful sunset. You just want to look at it. Beauty attracts. Ugliness repels. Nobody purposefully visits the dump. You guys want to come with me? We're going to go visit the garbage dump. Oh, it's going to be awesome. It's beautiful this time of year. We don't say that, right? Beauty attracts. Ugliness repels. We want to be far away from the garbage dump. So then one of the beautiful things, especially in our tradition, in the Catholic tradition, is we believe in beautiful things. We believe that beauty attracts. And that can most certainly be nature. A beautiful sunset, the Grand Canyon, the Rocky Mountains. Maybe you have a particular place that out in nature is kind of your spot. If you're in that place, the beauty of that place, how meaningful that place is, it's a place that you want to be. We see beauty in other people. And this is not sort of supermodels and big buff dudes working out on the beach. We're talking about beautiful people, somebody whose kindness just radiates from them, someone who is just so generous, someone who just, you want to be around them. That beauty attracts. And it's also true of buildings. It's amazing 5 years into this new building how often, every single day, people simply just walk through the front doors. People just stop in. They're driving by. Somebody told them. They just want to come and see. They want to come here and pray. This Saturday on the campus of Oklahoma State, the new St. John's will be dedicated. Again, a beautiful building. For centuries, people are going to come here and go there to be in a beautiful place. Beauty attracts. In our church, we now have, at least a little bit, some stained glass windows. If you haven't been by our little chapel out in the hall, just to the right, we have 6 stained glass windows, and it tells the beautiful story of the road to Emmaus, the gospel that we just heard. And when you look at those windows, there's a lot of really cool detail. Again, just the beauty of art makes you just want to sit there and look at it. But there's 2 parts in those windows I want to bring out for you today. We're told that Jesus was made known to them in the breaking of the bread. So there's a moment in the windows when the disciples realize that it's Jesus. So he's sitting across from them, he's breaking the bread, and their reaction is one of just amazement, almost like they're kind of scared. You see both of the disciples sitting there, and they're both kind of like pushed back, almost like a wind has just come in, and they're so surprised. One of them, this is the part I love, he's grabbing on to the table, kind of holding on for dear life. Something amazing has just happened in front of him. Jesus has made himself known in the Eucharist, and they're amazed by it. The other beautiful window in there is a heart on fire. So up above, it has like kind of an open Bible, and it says Luke 24. That's the gospel, the road to Emmaus. And just below that is a heart on fire. And when you look at it, the question you might ask is, whose heart is it? And we very purposefully, as it was being designed, we wanted people to ask that question, whose heart is it? And there are 3 answers. It is the heart of the disciples. We're told their hearts were burning within them as Jesus explained to them from Moses all the way through the scriptures. kind of the first Bible study. Jesus walks them through, and their hearts are just on fire. Can you believe what he's telling us? So the first possibility is it's the heart of the disciples. The second is it's the heart of Jesus. We know that Jesus' heart is on fire with love for us. That's something that we want to think about a lot, that we want to sink deep into our own hearts, that Jesus is madly in love with you. Jesus desires a relationship with you. His heart is on fire out of love for you and for us. So, it could be the heart of the disciples. It could be the heart of Jesus. And it could be, hopefully, your heart. And so it's an opportunity to ask ourselves the question, is my heart on fire for God? And we might say yes. We might say no. We might say sometimes. But the story of the road to Emmaus is one that ought to get us thinking. It ought to get us praying. And it ought to especially have us asking, is my heart on fire for God? Maybe yes, maybe no, maybe sometimes. But my hope is, as we go through this Mass here today, as we head out into our week, that will be the prayer of each one of us. The desire of the disciple is to have a heart on fire for God. But where does that come from? Fire is something that we kind of typically want to stay away from. One of the things that fire can do is it purifies. Fire takes away the impurities. But in order to set something on fire, you have to be in proximity to the fire. And so, in our life of prayer, in our life as disciples of Jesus, we have to get close to the one who is on fire for us. How do we do that? We do that in a life of prayer. We do that by coming to Eucharistic adoration. We do that by staying close to the sacraments. We do that by receiving the Eucharist. If we want to become on fire like Jesus, we have to be close to the fire. That's the beautiful story of the road to Emmaus, beautifully depicted in these windows in our chapel. I hope you'll take a stop by and look. And finally, I hope that our prayer this week will be simply this: Lord Jesus, set my heart on fire for you. Lord Jesus, set my heart on fire for you. Set my heart on fire for you and for your people. May we draw close to Jesus today. May we receive him in the Eucharist, the one who can set our heart on fire for him and for his people.